people think that Diddy ain't gonna defend himself and he's some, what you call a ban, you know what that means, bish, has, he's some ban, they got him wrong. He's going to defend himself. I've seen him hold his own with a couple of dudes who was strong in the street, in Harlem, in Mount Vernon. So I'm just saying this to say that there's only so much he's going to take before there's only so much he's going to take to defend himself, against anybody. And you've heard about him smacking people. You heard about him, doing something to people out there in the music industry. He ain't do that because he had security around him. And maybe he did. But if you think that you're going to swing on him and he ain't going to defend himself, you're wrong.
Diddy's reputation for not backing down didn't stay outside when the prison doors closed behind him. Word started spreading about a string of incidents inside, and people wanted to know what was really going on. Was he starting trouble, or was something else happening? Gene Deal spoke up about it and made something very clear. Anybody who thinks Diddy is just going to roll over and take it doesn't know the man. He's not built like that. This isn't someone who grew up soft. People who ran with him back in Harlem and Mount Vernon watched him hold his own against guys who were genuinely tough. Not industry guys, not yes men, actual street guys. So the idea that he'd suddenly become passive the moment he got locked up, that doesn't track.
Well, I got a phone call yesterday that Diddy was placed in solitary confinement because a man. I was told, literally, the phone call was, hey, Diddy choked the man out. He was placed in solitary confinement yesterday, July 23rd, around 4:00 p.m. And he'll be there for at least 30 days is what I was told. I reached out to Diddy's team. At the time, they knew I was calling, but they still trying to figure it out. They said that they don't know either way, but they didn't dispute my phone call.
What happened though?
So all that I know and all that was mentioned to me, I don't know every detail. Literally, though, I said why. They said, sometimes people think that they can play with him, and I don't know if it's because of all of the reporting around the case or if it's because he's a big celebrity and, they think that he's used to being, protected. But I was told people think that they can play with him, and we've told people don't think that. And
I told people 1,000,001 times.
Yesterday, he had to demonstrate. Allegedly.
We laugh at Diddy and all that, but Diddy's not. I've seen Diddy grab people, yoke people up in clubs, with security there. Diddy's no.
Here's the thing about Diddy and his history with confrontation. Yeah, there were stories over the years about incidents in the music industry, people getting smacked, people having altercations. Some of that happened because he had security around him. Some of it maybe didn't go exactly the way people told it. But the point is, if you swing on this man thinking he's just going to stand there and eat it, you're setting yourself up for a surprise. He's going to defend himself. That's just who he is. Now here's where it gets a little more complicated, because the prison fights weren't just random. There was actually a chain of events that set everything in motion, and it started with something that sounds almost too small to matter: a cigarette. Diddy was reportedly caught smoking in an area where smoking wasn't allowed. That alone was already a problem. But it got worse fast, because he was also enrolled in a program inside that specifically banned nicotine, alcohol, and any kind of substance, not just the hard stuff. Nicotine, cigarettes, all of it. He wasn't supposed to have any of that, and he got caught anyway. The moment that happened, the consequences didn't just fall on him, they fell on everybody around him. The authorities came in and raided the entire dorm section where Diddy was housed. That means guards going through everybody's belongings, not just his. And during that raid, they found something that had nothing to do with Diddy directly. Another inmate's phone. Phones are strictly contraband inside, and whoever had that phone was now in serious trouble because of a situation they didn't start.
What people don't know, he got the whole his whole side raided because he was smoking in a unrestricted area, or he was smoking cigarettes and he in the program that he don't supposed to have no kind of nicotine, no alcohol, no nothing. So what he did was he got the dorm area in which he was a part of raided, where they went in there and they started confiscating stuff, and they end up getting one guy's phone. And the guy got real upset, and they was trying to say, Diddy, I heard it reported that Diddy, the dude said something about his family and all that shit like that. It wasn't about no family. It was about, he got somebody's phone taken from him, and dude was, mad at him like that, and that's how that shit went down. If you get a phone taken from you in jail, you're gonna get some time for that. You understand what I'm saying? If you got alcohol and you in a drug treatment program, you're gonna get thrown out that program. If you got drugs and you in a drug treatment program in jail, all that shit gets in jail. So if you get our dorm raided because you don't know how to get away with smoking a cigarette and you smoking something in an unrestricted area or whatever like that, and we get a raid from that and they find my phone and I get in trouble, what you think is gonna happen, bro? What you think I should do? I'm gonna get more time for that. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Because you didn't follow the rules.
That's where the tension really exploded. The reports started coming out that the confrontation happened because someone said something about somebody's family. But according to people closer to the situation, that wasn't it at all. The guy was furious because his phone got taken. That phone getting confiscated could mean extra time on his sentence. It could mean losing privileges, getting written up, getting pulled out of programs. In prison, a phone isn't just a phone. It's a lifeline. And losing it because somebody else couldn't follow the basic rules of the dorm is the kind of thing that makes people lose their composure fast. Think about it from that inmate's perspective. You're sitting in there, minding your business, staying out of trouble, maybe even making progress in whatever program you're enrolled in. Then somebody else in your dorm breaks a rule, guards come flooding in, and now you're the one losing your phone and possibly catching extra time for it. You didn't do anything wrong. You're the one suffering the consequences. That frustration is going to go somewhere, and it went directly at Diddy. And the rules in jail are not forgiving. If you're caught with a phone, that's a serious violation. If you're caught with alcohol while you're in a drug treatment program, you're getting removed from that program immediately. If you're caught with drugs in the same situation, even worse. Every one of those violations carries weight, and the weight doesn't just affect the person who made the mistake. When the whole dorm gets raided, everybody's at risk. Everybody's property is fair game. Everybody could catch a charge or a violation from whatever gets found. So when you step all the way back and look at it, what happened wasn't just random prison beef. It was a direct reaction to Diddy not following the rules of the program he was supposed to be in. His decision to smoke in a restricted area triggered a raid. That raid cost another inmate a phone. That inmate turned around and took out that frustration physically. And Diddy, being who he is, wasn't going to just stand there and absorb it without fighting back.
Fights in prison, I would imagine, happen semi-frequently. But when you have a high-profile inmate like Diddy, is it something that you're more on alert for, that there could be other inmates that are looking to start fights with them just to make a name for themselves?
Yes, that's always a major concern. So when you have a high-profile individual like Diddy, he would be placed in administrative segregation. So you're not in solitary confinement, but also you're not in general population. So that's where an individual like him would be placed if he was on Rikers Island.
Right. Now, we've seen photos and videos of him interacting with other prisoners out in the yard at Fort Dix. So it seemed like it was a fairly comfortable as prison can be, situation for him. But after you have one fight like what happened on Wednesday, is there an increased level of danger for Diddy? Is it sort of like blood in the water for sharks? Do other inmates say, all right, this guy, got into a fight with him, this guy threw a few punches at him, I'm next? Is that something now you're on the lookout for?
Well, we're always on the lookout for things of that nature, but in his case, in anybody's case for that matter, you have to step up to the plate and you have to defend yourself. It would be sharks in the water if Diddy didn't defend himself. But in this case, he fought back. I don't know whether he won or lost, but in these cases, it really doesn't matter whether you win or lose. You have to fight back.
This whole situation is a reminder that in prison, the smallest choices carry the biggest consequences. It's not like the outside world where you can bend a rule and maybe get away with it. In there, one bad decision ripples out and hits people you didn't even intend to affect. And when those people feel like you cost them something real, they're going to come for you. Doesn't matter who you are, how famous you are, or how much money you had before you walked through those gates. Diddy's situation keeps developing, and there's clearly a lot more going on inside than what's making it into the headlines. If you want to stay on top of every update as this story keeps unfolding, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single thing. Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this one has people talking all over the place. See you in the next one.